Yo, what's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning. 925 candle giving us a little volatility. I think these 15-minute lows are absolutely going to get cooked here and in a few seconds. I'm also we'll be watching to see if we get a close below. Remember last night we were watching, we kind of had a 15-minute internal break of structure when we broke below here. And if you guys remember, I posted in the Leopard channel last night. I was looking for price to retrace back up to this 15-minute order block overnight. We were down here around close, and then internal break, but you still expect what retraces to the order blocks that drove the break down. Yeah, we closed back over it here, but I still this is still bearish 15-minute internal structure. Obviously, our 15-minute. If you guys were looking in tribe chat last night for the free members, our 15-minute structure is basically this right now. So we're just sitting internally with the 15. Good morning, Jules. So really, and from a 15-minute structure standpoint, we're just kind of at a standstill. So we can just kind of look at the internal structure as well. So that's why, for those that don't know, there will be a course dropping. Right now, it's just for the premium members, but it will be dropping probably in a week or so to all members. It goes over responsible order blocks and sitting and just responsible order blocks being the ones that are your last order blocks before price broke structure. We look for retraces to them, and then we look for trend continuations out of those. So those videos will be released soon, but I expect I'm not bullish today unless we get through close over this high, close below this low. I said it yesterday as well. I think this order block was going to be what drives our bias today. Remember, it is OPEX going into a 3-day weekend, so we could absolutely chop all day. So must be aware of those potential conditions as well. But if we close below here, I'm going to be looking for shorts. You're bully today. Okay. I'm going to be looking for uh, shorts down to our unmitigated order blocks down here. For the giveaway, in free chat, you will see a message that I posted in there called Jungle. To get entered into the giveaway, which is probably why most of you are here, make sure you react to that message. That is your entry into the giveaway. So make sure you react to that. I will throw the link to the message is right here. If you can't find it in the free chat, so click there, react there. That'll be your entry into the giveaway. For the premium giveaway, uh, it it'll be a random selection just based on your tribe premium role, so there will be no need to react to a message for the premium giveaway. We'll look to do those. I'm looking to keep everyone so that not everyone has to feel obligated to sit here through the entire stream. We'll be looking to do the giveaway about 10:15 or so after the 10:10 macro is the blend. Mod of the month. Stop. All right. So we got open here in 10 seconds. Be looking for a potential 50-minute close below, or a close over the London highs. Other than that, we'll sit patient. Don't want to force a trade going into a 3-day weekend. So we'll see what happens. And then for the PM giveaway, we'll be giving away another account as well. And then there will be a different message that you'll have to react to to get entered into that one. But Ply will have instructions for that going into the afternoon stream. So mark out some 1-minute ROBs. All right. So yeah, I mean that's what we need to be looking at right now, is just to see if we can find any kind of way into the structure. So right now, our 1-minute structure has us going. Let's see, we had a 1-minute order block here, so we'll start here. So this is our 1-minute structure right now. Do close above. So our break of structure was right here with the close below this low, right? So would have been here, no order block down to here. Do, do, Let's see if we get a close below the 15. This would be a swing up as well here on the 1 minute. So you see here, obviously not a great example of a ROB. Okay, so there's the 15-minute lows that we expected. Now we'll see if we get a close under. Even with a 1 minute close under this low, you still have a 1 minute. You still have a. We'll pay attention to see if we get a 15-minute close as well. But if we get a 1 minute close down here, which it looks like it's going to happen, this would be your. I would just consider this whole area your responsible order block. You kind of see how this was our last order block. It's not, I say it's not a good example because it's your last order block, right? We got a close below, retap, and then we took a new low. So it's not really the greatest example, but you see what happens. So I'd be looking for potential shorts out of the order blocks up here. And if we would blow through it, what do I expect? I expect a retrace up back up to midnight to our last untapped 1 minute order block up here with this VI. That VI almost makes me not even want to take a short out of here because I can absolutely see price going back up there. But nonetheless, with a close below this low, this would be your responsible right here. And for those that don't know, we use the -4 with options indicator, plots out -4 the 30-second opening range. So, and we always look for price to tap once, at least one -4 every single day. Very rare that we don't. So if we get a retrace back up here, we can look for a short targeting the -4, and then we'll look left and see if there's anything untapped to the left that price could be drawing to. But when you have like 15-minute areas like this and price breaks down, it's not you do not want to be trying to long through this. Usually when we have a breakdown like this, we will have a retest of the area and then we will end up taking a brand new low. So that's why be leaning bearish. Not saying we're going all the way down to the lows, but most times you will have a return to the low after your 15-minute break of structure and then the retest of that area. I can't even get a retrace here. So I want to look left. I want to see if there's anything untapped where price would be drawn to. Man, everything is tapped into. So the fact that everything's tapped into, I don't see really anything unmitigated. I guess this 1 minute is unmitigated right there. But the fact that everything's mitigated here, there's no other reason price would be coming all the way down. Because we know price goes order block to order block, fair value gap to fair value gap. I prefer order blocks because you'll see fair value gaps send us up like a little bit, and then price will come back down and hit the order block. But when you have everything mitigated, there's no reason price is coming back down to tap into the same order block just to bounce again. We're coming down to take some kind of low and probably down to some other kind of unmitigated order block. So the next like unmitigated order block on the 1 minute I would see would be down here. Right, we close above it, and there's no retest of it. Also, got that devil's mark sitting there, so that would be a nice like potential trim target if we got into a short. Which I guess if you get into a short up here and you're looking and you get us down there, I guess you'd be trimming already. But right now, just waiting. We're not chasing. We're not getting FOMO into this. And we'll see. Hopefully, a lot of times we'll get a move down to -4. We'll just miss it, and then we'll get a huge pump back up, and then we'll go back down to a -4. Happens a lot, but this thing is dumpy right now. What up, Jay? What up? If you guys are coming in a little bit later to get entered into the giveaway drawing, just go like and react to the jungle message that's in free chat. That's your entry into the giveaway. We'll do the giveaway around 10:15 for the premium and the free members giveaway. Right now, just waiting. If we get a 1 minute order block here, I would look for price to return back up to, you got 1 minute breaker sitting here at this last low that we just broke through as well. But I would much prefer up into a premium of this 1 minute leg. This thing looks pretty bearish. I think it doesn't even want to get up there. Well, I would only expect that if we got the 1 minute order block. We have not got that yet. There you go, Plow. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Anybody have big plans for tomorrow? A Friday with no market. But, all right, but for now, like I said, we're just patient. If you're in from somewhere up here. I don't know what your entry would have been. Maybe, but nothing here yet. Only thing that looks good to me is up inside of her. What you do have, it's also the 5 minute. It's the 5 minute. The 5 minute is tapped. The 5 minutes tapped because we put in the order block here, and then we get obviously the retest of it here. So this is a mitigated order block. Well, having a little more hesitant to take a short off of this would be if we're delivering from -4 first. Still, if you're following the 15-minute structure, the 15-minute internal structure, you're still trading with that side of the structure, and we're still expecting distribution. Remember, we talked about this in the premium streams last week. Out of 15-minute ROBs and those areas, we expect distribution down, and we expect a new 15-minute low. So it's because of that, bearish until proven otherwise with a close over London, which is actually very, very strange. That so you see, when we draw -4s, we look to see if there's confluence at certain key levels. When you see from this 8 o'clock high lines up right there, so that's interesting. But for now, just a dumpy dump. I would start to have conviction in this if we close over this high. I would have conviction that we're going to go back up to here, right? Because right now our 1 minute structure is down, right? So I would need to see a close back over. I would need to see a close back over this high. Let me turn on demonstration mode to make. There we go. It would need to close back over this high, and then we can look for a responsible order block down here, potentially around midnight. So we would. This is just a long thing to if we were going to get along for up here. So we would need to blow through this bearish responsible order block. We need to close above long in order block that's formed here before the break of structure, because that would be irresponsible, and then we can look for a longs up to the -4. When price slows down, I'll go over. I'll show you guys that don't really know about responsibles yet. I'll show you the plays from Asia last night that some of us took. But we'll see if we get a 1 minute order block here. This is where we're talking about where we sometimes don't hit -4. We'll get a huge retrace, and then we'll come all the way back down for it. Very, 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 very possible. Uh, so we also, with the 30-second opening range, if you haven't watched the video, it's on YouTube explaining how we use it like entirely. But you look for retraces you look for retraces or bounces. Retraces, I guess, and bounces, same thing from the -4 areas. And then if price starts closing below -4 and using that as resistance, you look for price to go to a -8. Look where -8 sits, right at those unmitigated order blocks on the 1 minute that we were talking about. So I just see a little confluence there. But this is why we're not chasing. We get stop runs like this. So see if we get the order block here on the 1 minute. Where'd 50 of this little range sit? So there's 50 of this little 1 minute range. Best case, we get back up inside of here and we leave -4. It could be a huge, huge, huge trade. Bounce off the 15 minute. Oh, yep. That's what I'm looking for, Cash. That's what I'm looking for. Especially leaving the -4 like that. And then if we close through it and the short would get stopped, then obviously the only thing I don't like about the short is midnight and that Devil's Mark VI and untapped order block sitting just above it. But the risk reward is so good for this that I'm going to try it either way, and I can always re-enter if we hit this and get a 1 minute order block to the downside. So the short would look something like this. If you could just get a close over, you just get out, and you'd be looking for a -4. So you're looking at over a 4-to-1 RR. So and also, if we go up and tap this without hitting this 1 minute order block, this can be a good break even spot as well. Because you're coming down to to an unmitigated. So if we're gonna be a bullish, you could see something like this down to here. Make sure everything's mitigated before going higher, and then we go back up. So a break even spot after hitting your last untapped order block be a very good spot to go break even, or a trim if you want to. But I would be holding position full, going for a -4. There's the 1 minute order block. Now, if I wanted to long this, I could long this 1 minute order block, and I just would not want to see a close back below the mitigation low now. Most times, if you see a close back below the mitigation low, with the mitigation low is just the candle, the wick that dug into the order block, and you'll notice a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times. But if we get a close back below it, we shouldn't be closing back below the wick that taps into the order block, and then it usually just means we'll just get a move right back down to the lows. So we'll test that out here. But if I was to enter, this would just be my stop. The moment we close below basically my entry or the wick that my entry was in, I would just get out. I would just get out of the position. So if I took this long, I would exit right there, just for a small loss, because I would not want to see price closing back below. So it saves you from waiting for like a close below mean threshold or a close below the order block. It can save you it can save you some drawdown. So the next thing, since we got a bullish 1 minute order block here, that qualifies as a swing to the upside. So if we get a close back below here, the last order block before closing back below this low, if we do, would then become your new responsible. And you just follow them back and forth. But if you take anything from today, take that example right there. Go back test your mitigation lows and highs that tap into order blocks, and if you violate them with a close, it's not a good thing for your for your position. Yeah, Charlie. If you look in the tribe announcements, you'll see the playlist. Here, I'll just for anybody that's here, I'll just share the links to all the to the playlist here. All right, so there you go. You take a new low. As soon as we close below that mitigation low, takes you to a brand new low. You would have you exited here instead of waiting for price to blow through the order block. Would have saved you a ton of drawdown. Question now is, do we get a close below the last low? We do not break down on the 1 minute there, so there's no 1 minute break of structure there. Other question is there an SMT? There is an SMT on that low. So we'll get rid of this for now. I will remove my limit from the order block up here. But the other thing is to remember is keep your old responsibles, keep them marked on your charts because you will see price return to them like we did yesterday. We caught we basically caught the top of yesterday before the dump based on that. Let me try to find it real quick to show you guys. Uh, so good example of one. Let's see, yesterday. Where was it? Where was it? Mm, Yeah, it was right before Paul spoke. So this was a responsible order block. Looks like we're just still chopping here on the 1 minute. So this was our responsible order block, right? This was our order block that closed below this low. Look how price failed to get into it many times here, and then right when Powell speaks, right before Powell came on, went short right here, right at this responsible, and took it all the way down. Not all the way down. I closed it like I think I closed it. I closed it at overnight lows, but you see price is just a good idea. Keep them marked on your chart because price will return to them. That was basically a top tick entry right there. And then we'll go over London or London. We'll go over the Asia as well here. So failed to break structure here to the downside. So we could end up creating just a range here too. Otherwise, I would be looking for bearish continuation. We missed -4 again. We do, like I said, remember we do have the SMT as well. Yep. So you got another SMT on these lows. So you got SMT. I still would like to see a short out of the 487. If I don't get a short here, we look for a short out of here. If- So this would be a confirmation type entry. So if I get stopped out of this uh, responsible here, I will look for a 1 minute order block off of this area to then look for a short. He's coming up with a lot of speed. But yeah, I'm going to try an entry here at 487. And stop will just be a close back above. So a decent size stop. So if you want to follow along, just size accordingly. I'm just sizing a little bit smaller because I know I see this devil's mark with midnight here. So there's the tap. We'll see what transpires. Dude. SMT there. What does ES got going on? ES got up to that devil's mark. Um, let's see. So about 30 points in profit here. If you took it with, manage your position accordingly, trim where you want to trim. But me personally now, I do not want to see it close back over this high. What we just talked about with the mitigation, we get closed back above this high. I'm just going to exit the position. I don't want to see it close back above, and I would just close. If we close above, we're probably going to get a move up to that devil's mark and that VI midnight open and all that up there. So now a very small risk, looking for a drive down to a -4. Go break even if we got down to this order block. But no emotion either way. The trade is set. No fear of any positions. Oh, I'm missing chat. Man, I had chat closed. CB is undefeated. Yep, missed Asia low. Oh, we missed Asia low too. Okay, so even better, even more reason that uh to try a short here. Let's see. You do have there's a small SMT with this high. If you want to consider that an SMT, I guess you would. So like I said, we'll see if we get a close. If not, we'll look for something up here. Best case is for the short to work out. I obviously want to see a close below this 1 minute candle. But either way, you still see the slowdown, the slowdown we get as soon as we get inside of those order blocks. Um, let's see. There's no SMT now. ES took out that SMT. Let's look. We'll see if we get a close above. There is a bearish SMT. So ES took this high. So you do have a bearish SMT now with this high. So if we're gonna dump it, we should start dumping now. If we keep hanging around, we'll probably go back up. But best case is I want to see a close. A good start would be a close below this little 1 minute doji, of course, but would much rather see this big 1 minute candle close below. But like I said, either way, no motion. It's it's the model. It's what I look for, especially leaving negative forward. I didn't realize we left Asia low by a tick too. 80 is a key area. 82, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so now with what closed below this 1 minute doji, I'm just gonna keep trailing here. I don't want to see it close above this candle's high and high now. There's no reason we should come back and take that high. About 40 points in profit now. So like I said, manage a position accordingly. If you want to trim, take some off. Um, there was an 80. There was an 80. We just got to get through. You got a 1 minute breaker here. So if price is bullish, it's going to hold this breaker. So that's why stop would just be able, just keep trailing it down with our close below 1 minute order blocks. Would have wanted to see a nice close below there, but so if we get a close below, if we get a close below here, I'm just going to move stops to break even. There's no reason price should come back to my entry at that point. And inside the 1 minute breaker. But if we get the 1 minute order block, I'd be looking for price to get down to this 1 minute order block down there. So yeah, I'll just take stops to break even now. If it's going to come back, I don't even want to mess with it. So take stops to break even. Like I said, 50 points in profit here. Dude, the CB is undefeated. Yeah, it is. It is. Huge drop after United Healthcare. That's the one where the CEO got murdered, isn't it? But if you are in more than one contract, make sure you're paying yourself and make sure you at least pay yourself something here. If we get down to this 1 minute order block. Yep. Yep. As I said, pay yourself. Pay yourself. But notice how we did not get a close back above the mitigation high. And the other thing about paying yourself here is just, this is probably 50. Yeah, so now we're at 50 so as well. So 50 and inside the 1 minute breaker. Don't want to see price back to break to my entry at that point. At that point, I would not even want to be in the trade anymore, and I'd be looking for price to get up to that midnight area. Oh, I personally am Richard. I don't have anything until 372 for a sell. So right now it's just a retest. Right now, this 1 minute order block. Pretty bullish 1 minute candle there, though, out of the breaker. But you want to see the breaker wreck. We blow through this breaker, we're cooking. But equal lows here. Get a close back below here, and you should be good, at least for the order block. Don't tell me bullish SMT. Don't tell me that. My entry was 487, right at this order block right here. Hidalgo. Yeah, it's pretty slow. Want to see a 1 minute bearish put in here. Want to see a close below these equal lows. Don't like the wick and go. But let's see what happens. Looks like we're going to get stopped to break even here. 953's got a hold. Oh, sorry. I thought I made it clear that my entry was at 487 at this 1 minute responsible. Ugh. It's probably a good thing if you get stop break even. So there's my break even as well. Sadly, but 50 points, the breaker, we knew that's probably where price was. If we're gonna bounce, that's where it's gonna be. So good spot to go break even. Question is, do we get a close back above this mitigation high here? If we do, we're probably gonna get a move up to midnight there. Or it's gonna come tag our break even and go. Which would be very, very unfortunate. Yep, we are. Yep. Honestly, just getting a little choppy now. A little choppy, but oh, that's unfortunate. So the big thing to take out of this, obviously I got stopped to break even is we still did not get a close above that. Oh, stop by a tick, but we did not get any close above. That's why I'm always very, very aggressive and not going to break even. Um, but we did not get a close above that mitigation high. So if you kept your stop there, you would still be in this trade as your stop as in being a close back above. So we should tap into this 1 minute now. TPT for the win. So that's why it's man. This thing, if we're gonna bounce though, it's gonna be right here. If not, this thing's gonna dump right to -4 because this is where now every order block in this leg is now mitigated. So there's no reason price should be going back down, especially even if we just close below this low. The breaker's fully and fully tapped into as well. So we'll get rid of that for now. So now we'll just wait. Right, mitigation highs sitting up here. This order block is not tapped into, so we could see price come all the way back up inside of here. But I think we're going down. And we just wicked out there. Now, if we would got to close above here, above this, I would fully expect up to here. Why? Because there's nowhere else for price to reject. We shouldn't be closing above back inside of an order block, above an order block mitigation high. That's what we focus on here is entering at the highs and the lows of swings. We're not chasing stuff in the middle of swings, going for 10, 20 points. We're going for 3, 4 R trades plus here. And by using the mitigation highs and lows as stops, it keeps your stops very, very small. The only time you would get screwed per se is if you just, you just get some kind of tariff candle right through it. But so now it looks like we missed that order block. Okay, we missed that order block by a tick. So it won't surprise me to see this candle come back up, tap into it. But here we read price. We read pretty much candle by candle. You're gonna you'll learn to read price rather than just trade a pattern. We'll wait for the macro to end here, and then we'll give away some accounts. I don't know what that was. Well, we'll have to check the. For those that don't know, the newsfeed channel under the tribe chat, it is our financial juice, and so you don't have to actually go to the website every single time. But I don't see anything from there. But this thing's gonna go. This thing's gonna take us to a -4. Man, wicked out by a tick. We're gonna go down to this low. Am I chasing? Do I have FOMO? No. Will I find the next trade? Absolutely. Oh, I know we're going lower. I'm expecting us to go all the way down to these 15-minute lows. Yeah. Oh, that's very, very unfortunate. But nonetheless, you guys seen it in real time. We still got 50 points on it. I don't know. Just moved to break even a little too soon. A little too soon. If I stuck to the original stop, we were good. Even with a close above if we just followed mitigation highs, same case here. This one tapped into it. Did we ever close back above this high? It tapped into this order block. No. So if I was still short, I would exit the position if we closed back above the high that tapped into the last order block. So nice options. You just shorted the order block. That's not a bad entry. Yep. We'll catch the next trade. All I care about, obviously, it sucks missing getting stopped to break even. All I care about though is the most important thing is I still see this order block doing what I expected it to do. That's all I care about. The entries will always come and be there. I want to learn and know how to read price and tell where price is going. That's all. And the entries will will always come and will always be there. Maybe not always be there because you're not always going to have a perfect entry, but uh, that's all I care about. That's all I want you guys to learn as well. Learn to read where price is going, and you will find an entry model that works for your liking. Dude. So we still have an untapped order block here. We could see price come back up, lines up with that VI. But this happens a lot. We'll see us almost tag -4 multiple times, and then eventually we'll eventually we'll get to it. One minute bully SMT. I see a little SMT right here, but I don't think that's going to matter here. This thing's going -4. Is anybody still holding? Did anybody not get out up here? I just want to be able to cheer for somebody. Nice Gooner. There's no reason. There's no reason to get out unless we start closing above some kind of highs. All right, so there's the higher order block. Oh, I never shared the playlist inside of here. Let me go grab that quick. Damn, I try and slide in. Not that I know of. It's like OPEX doing OPEX things. Currently holding the inversion for more downside. I'm trying. Nice, Einer. Glad you got caught something from it. Let's see. I'm trying to look what you're talking about. Yep. Yeah, I know there's two new dogs here. Yeah. So I would not like to see a close above here. Why? Because this is actually, it would be a close above. It would be a close above. Let's see. What came in there? So it would have been a close above here, but let's see what happens here. So we close above this mitigation high now. So barely, but let's see. Not a very convincing close, but yeah, nice. For those that are not in the premium, I will share the playlist here. Like I said, it's going to be released to the public probably in the next week or two, but just started a little course, mentorship, whatever you want to call it. No charge. I don't want money. I don't want any of that. But just it's my main trading method model, how I read price every day. Um, inside of there, no money. So if you want to, so take a look. If you have questions, DMs are always open. But that's the way we trade every day in here. Let's see if we get this thing down to -4. -4. We'll see if we get a bounce. So remember, let's see here. So our structure is still just this. Just because we had a swing down here, we did not have a close below, so there's no new 1-minute breakdown. So our swing is still here. So if we get a close below right now, our new responsible order block would be here. But there comes a time when we're not there yet, where we have a breakdown. We have a breakdown. If we get another breakdown, that'll be 3. You got to be a little more careful after you have. You'll learn in the you'll learn in that course, but you don't want to be shorting after so many breaks to the downside or the upside, because usually you get at least some kind of breakup structure back to the upside at some point, even if it's a false break. So, but trade on the side of structure, and your win rate will already improve substantially just by doing that, learning structure, which is video 1. But to understand responsible order blocks, you need to understand structure first and how to draw structure. By the way, that I like to draw. There's a bunch of different ways people draw structure, but All right, should we do premium first or should we do the free? Everybody first. I think we'll do everybody first. Anybody and whoever the winner is, just shoot a DM to at code KC. Give us -4. Let's see if we get -4 here quick. So this would not be our new responsible. This would be our new responsible if we get a close below. Nice, A1. What'd you do? Take a mini there? You took like 3 minis. You had to take like 3 minis there. The question is, why did you sell already? -4 is down here. Do, do. All right, we're gonna spin this wheel. All right, let's spin the wheel. How many entries do we have? We have 58 entries. 58 entries. All right. Good luck. Let me. Who reacted to a message. All right. Winner will be announced in the chat here. It's thinking. It's thinking. Who is it? Who is it? Nick. Nick. At Nick. Is it Nick here? Is Nick here? Is that Nikos? Oh, okay. It's Nikos. All right. Nice. Nice, nice. So shoot I'm the new hat. Shoot KC a message. He'll get you hooked up with your free 50K from Top Step Trader. Congrats, congrats. All right. Did you sign up? All right, there's -4 off of our responsible. What an awful stop out there. But price did what we expected it still to do. Just want to break even too soon. You need them. But let's see if we get a bounce off of -4 here. And we'll get this wheel spinning for the premium member. This will be for a Top Step 50K. Top Step 50K. I hope Options wins this. It'd be so funny. Dude hates Top Step. All right, we're spinning. It is courtesy of Options. Reggie. Is Reggie in here? I don't know if Reggie's in here. I don't even know if he's in here. Let's tag him. All right. So I guess I don't know. I don't think we're going to get a huge retracement off of this -4. The other thing we'll keep in mind is we got to close. We got to close below here. So congrats, Nick, Reggie. So we'll be giving away another TPT account on the PM stream as well. But I'll personally get a hold of Reggie. I don't see him in here. Make sure he gets it. So this would make this. So going back to the charts, this would be like our new responsible, right? We broke below the last low. Nice hold, Gunner. Nice hold. I'm glad somebody held and caught the whole thing of that. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, it hurts. It's 100 and almost 110 points or so off of that. Let's see. Nigas, because this was our first low put in and we never closed back below it, I would go with this doji as the ROB here. I am not shorting this though. I'm not shorting this right off of -4. I'm not shorting into a -4. There he is. Welcome, Reggie. You are a winner. Congrats. You are the wiener. What a surprise. Dude was still in bed. He's like, why is my phone blowing up from all the tags? What's going on? Yeah, of course. Yeah, shoot me a DM, Reggie, and I'll get you taken care of. Yeah, you can only trade 80-20. Does that make sense though, Nigas? Going back to what I was explaining about the break here. That's where it gets a little hairy because you're like, oh, wait, there's a low here, there's a low here. I just like to go from the last low until we get a new close below that, because this is just the low that put in the woman order block. That's but so far nice reaction out of there. This would not so far be considered any kind of swing up. It's not a swing up because we have not even put in a bullish 1 minute order block. You need an order block to be considered a swing up. Like here, this was a swing up because we got a bullish order block right here. But now we got to close back below, so our structure takes us down. It's gonna take us all the way down until we get a bullish 1 minute. But we see the bearish one hold here. The new bearish Rob hold. Now what happens if we close back above this? I get pretty bullish here. I get at least bullish up to what? Up to our next untapped order block. If we close, back above this candle, we get really bullish. Why? Because all of this is mitigated already. This order block's mitigated. This order block's mitigated. Prices isn't closing above to come back up and just stop here and go all the way back down. We'd be looking for price to probably run this high up to midnight in that order block. But right now we're just dumping. So far, we had entry at the high of day for New York, at least. Do is the Easter Bunny. Yep, the giveaways will continue. Um, more so on more so on the premium side, but we'll be doing both and both. ES still has Asia low. ES holding up I wouldn't say pretty well, but all right, let's start looking because obviously prices, we're not gonna get a bounce here from -4. We still can, but I want to look left and see what is there. Obviously, these lows um, are cooked. I wouldn't expect unless there's something on the 5 minute. Usually, when we take a low, we'll take a low, but if you always look left, like there'll be some kind of order block that was untapped or something to the left. That is then what is the um, catapult for price to a retrace. I just don't see anything here. That's why I just go down to the 1 minute. And the next, like I said, the next target below here, we start closing below 338 in these lows, which is there's a 1 minute devil's mark. Those are pretty ugly lows there. Um, and then the next target is what you look left. Where's your next unmitigated order blocks? That 262 area. I just don't expect. I wouldn't expect a full on retrace out of just a singular fair value gap. It 9 times out of 10, it comes off of an order block. Yeah, I I think so, Plow. That would make total sense. Like we talked about this morning, coming out of a 15-minute um, breakdown here, you get a retest of the area. What do we expect? Distribution all the way down to the lows, which coincides with PDL. So now something potentially. So there's the break below those lows. Next target would be down to that 262. Problem is we're just getting pretty low here. Um, so yeah, 262. And then if you, for the ones that aren't in here every day, you look left, and this is the left side is what builds your right side. So this is where you'll see like, boom, guess what? You get a 50% here. And then what? We're probably gonna move down to the 15-minute order block. What? Guess what? Another 50% to the breaker. Some kind of responsible order block probably in here too. And then guess what? Continue downside. And guess what? That's your market maker sell model. The left side builds your right side. But right now, still no 1 minute. So our 1 minute structure is just this entire leg right now. In my eyes. A 10:30 turnaround. You might get a 10:30 turnaround if we. I would say if we need to hit these lows first. Probably there's just no way. And the only way to answer this right now is if you short an order block, but at some point we're gonna have a stop run, so you got to be careful. But the one thing I know about this is it's a slower grind down, so everything's mitigated here. So if we get any kind of bullish 1 minute order block, this thing can absolutely fly. So bro said we going down. Oh, I completely agree that we're going down. Completely agree. Let me look left. This thing is just damn. It might be one of the worst break evens of my entire trading career right there. I've had some bad ones, but that one's up there. I would have been all out though. Personally, I would have been all out at a -4, but the same the same thing the same thing though that I showed you guys yesterday. Came back up. We missed the ROB. We get this, but guess what? I'm not just gonna chase and enter short here because I'm bearish. I'm gonna wait for my entry, wait for up there, just like the one I showed you from yesterday around lunch before Mr. Powell came up to speak. Yeah, so we'll be looking for price down to that 262. We'll see if we get a bounce from those untapped order blocks. It's also -8. Remember of the 30-second opening range. So big confluence here, and you're gonna have a nice 1 minute range. It looks like so. This from here to here, just be a nice 1 minute range. That's probably gonna need some kind of rebalance of a and a 50% into it, but so far, not a bad OPEX. I was expecting just choppy, messy PA, but so far, pretty damn good. Yep, very clean. What do you mean by inversion of the 1 minute ROB discipline? Yep, that's what it's exactly what we expected too. We expected a push up into the 15 because we usually don't leave once we get. It's like I said, it's internal 15, but say it again and again. Your Asia and your London manipulation leg. Nice LR all the way down. Oh, like okay. I gotcha. I'm trying to see which one you're specifically talking about, but yeah, we're gonna hit -8 here. -8. All these order blocks they're on the menu. Now, how can you get into this is probably what you're wondering. I mean, the only entry to get into this right now I would say it's just more of it's more of an aggressive entry, but you can try shorting up here at this 1 minute Civi order block inside of what it's not even really a 1 minute range or 1 minute range. I would say would be from here to here to here. So get up into a premium 50%, and you can look for a short here. And then if we just close over these order blocks, I would just get out. You start closing over these order blocks, we go back to a mitigation, right? Everything's mitigated here. We're gonna get a big pump, and you don't want to be in the way. Let's see if it lines up with anything on the 5 minute. Not really anything on the 5 minute. The -4 sits about around there too. So yeah, so yeah, it's not actually a bad short. It might actually be something we try here, especially leaving 262 there. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try a short up here 245 at 345. Stop will just be a close above or a close above the mitigation high. Once we tap into it. Uh, oh, that is the 1 minute ROB. Yeah, it's what I have marked right here as well. But yeah, we'll try to enter this. But there is a lot of what people would say LR, which I would expect to get ran if we close above these order blocks because everything's tapped into, even the 5 minute. Yep. So your ROBs from the move down would be, let's see, we talked about this one already. Delivered a new low. Obviously, just a very it's kind of a weird one. Right, we got the breaker structure down, so it closed inside of the ROB, and then it kind of a weird happening there. And then obviously where we entered, and then the ROB here. But it doesn't look like I'm gonna get tagged into anything here. We'll see what happens off of these order blocks. But I'll expect a stop run here at some point. So it's still no 1 minute. So our 1 minute structure just goes all the way down here, which means we don't get any kind of 1 minute break of structure until we close back above what? Our last protected high. Last protected high that drove us to a new low. None of these are protected highs because they did not give us a 1 minute order block. Yeah, 100% expect PDL to be your draw today. And Mark DM me and he said he's looking at 0.67, and I don't know why. I'm assuming it's going to be one of these lows. Oh, yeah, it's going to be this low. But if this low goes, I would expect all of these lows to go. To be honest, around 820, so I can call it a week. 820. I mean, I could see us continue down all day. 820. I mean, 820 is gonna 820 will get hit. Maybe not today, but for your sake, I hope it does. You got the negative 24 sitting down there, but all right. So give us these order blocks. Give us -8. And we'll see what we get out of here. See if we get any kind of bounce. If not, I'm looking down to that 15-minute order block that's untapped. 201 would be your next draw. I have something marked down here. I don't know what I have marked down here. Oh, this was the responsible from yesterday. So this is what I talked about earlier while we wait here. See, we had a 1 minute breakdown, a 1 minute breakdown, 1 minute. We had 4 breakdowns here, and then we finally get a break of structure to the upside here. This was the play we caught yesterday going into the 350 macro. See, we got to close above the retest of your ROB. This being your ROB, and obviously you see what happens next. So that's what that was. So we can get rid of that. So your levels to watch now are just 262 and down to 201 for your next bearish targets. So there's your untapped order block, 262. See if we get a bullish one here. See if we get a bully order block. Oh, 18,220? Oh, 18,220. You should be good, Eater. No doubt. You just might have a little turbulence at -8 and these untapped order blocks first. But looks like we got a bully there. We got a bullish order block. Let's see if that takes us up to. Realistically, I would at least expect that to get us up to that 18,300. Why? You get a bullish 1 minute order block, should take you to the last untapped order block. Takes you up to 18,300. Now, if we close above here, where should we go? Guess what? You already see it. Your next untapped order block up here, where we were going to enter before. at 3:45. But now we've already hit these order blocks. I don't have an interest really in a short here. Yep. Not on OPEX day. I don't blame you. Don't blame you. Oof, that's gonna really kill him. Yeah. But we'll still be watching this order block. It's the last. It's not the last untapped, but obviously that's our Rob. Clean up the charts a little bit here. We'll see what happens out of here. So I'm not entering this. Not entering. We'll see if we get like a bearish 1 minute order block, 30-second out of it, and then potentially. But inverse to 5. Mm. So the problem with the 5 minute inverse I see. Okay, so if you take this 5 minute inverse, by the time you enter, you're gonna be longing right into a 5 minute VI -4, right into your the 5 minute mitigation block at this low sitting here. So uh, for me, no thanks. I mean, all right. So we see we got the close above there. Nowhere else for price really to reject from except what the next order block. I mean, you can. I mean, don't let me like I always tell you. I always tell you guys, don't let my opinion affect what you are seeing on the charts. Trade your models, your setups. Just here to talk through what the way that I'm seeing it. Do not let that affect. If you want to take the 5 minute inverse, take that 5 minute inverse. So now all I'm watching from a pure price action standpoint is if we get a close above here, what do I expect? Would likely we see a push up to our next unmitigated order block sitting up here. But and we'll watch see if we get a bearish 1 minute here. And if you're shorting this, you want to see a 1 minute bearish here. Can be a good spot to go break even after you get this 1 minute order block. You wouldn't want to see price back up inside of there anyway. Yep. You just got to know. It's just so important to know where price can be rejecting from. It's just use your order blocks and what's been mitigated. What's been given some love and what hasn't. Everybody wants some love, right? So just let's look at the market that way. Yep. All right. I'm gonna try this with a little more aggressive. If we get the 1 minute order block, if we get the 1 minute order block, I'll take it. Only if we get it. And then style will just be a close back above it, or once we get the we'll get some kind of mitigation into it, but looks like we may not get it yet. And then we'd be looking for the lows and -8. So if we got it, it would look something like this. Doesn't look like we're going to though, but it would look something like this down to -8, and you're looking at another 3-4 hour trade. And the good thing about, like I said, trading like this, anybody you can be profitable with a 30% win rate. Obviously it's not good. It's probably tough mentally to win only 30% of the time, but that's what we like to focus on though is these bigger ones because our losses are usually 10, 20 points, and our winners are 50 points plus. So we can lose 3 times, and one winner makes up for it. So that's just the way I prefer to a trade rather than 1-to-1 and just scalping. Because one trade like we had this morning, if I didn't get stopped out here, you can absolutely be done for the day, especially if you copy trade. I don't know. I don't think a lot of people copy trade, but yep, 100% Plio, 100%. What time's PM stream Plio? You can 1:30, 1:30, right? 1:30. All right, we'll be sure to be in there. Is that, do we have an SMT on this 1 minute high? We do not. Okay. If this was an SMT, I'd potentially try this 1 minute. Actually, I'm still going to try this. I'm going to try this if we get this. If we get a close below. Doesn't look like we'll get it here. But I'll still try it if we get it because this is now what? This is now our mitigation low. This low right here is our low that tapped into this bullish order block right here. So if we get a close below here with a 1 minute order block, tells me price should want to go down. So it'd be worth a shot to me. And that would probably be the last thing I take this morning. Just because I know if we're going down, this is where it's going to be. And if I get stopped out, I know where price is going next, right? It's going to go up to here, up to her. Looks like no order block. It did slow up. It did slow up. Hoping it stays going, especially for PM. Don't want a boring PM. Pray this thing don't dump before it can get an entry. Where does 50 sit of this 1 minute range? Down there at, can't see, 313. All right. And looks like no order block. Which, no order block tells us what? We're not bearish. Yep, we are in the macro now, 1050. 1050. We'll still try this. We'll still try this, especially that's not okay. I was hoping this was an SMT, but it's not. See if we get a close below. Remember, I'm watching that 1046 candle, and we do not get a close. Nothing doing here. You guys see, obviously, this pretty slow here. Pretty slow, but slowing down at the 1 minute order block where we should be rejecting from if we're bearish. 20 seconds. So if we close below, I'm going to have an entry right at 343. Pray she don't dump prior. Looks like she's going to dump prior. No. All right, limit sitting at 343. Praying we don't hit 50 first. I'll just look at this whole range. Look there, 313.75. So the trade looks something like this. Just close. We don't want to see the back above here, but our stop's going to get moved anyway, right? Our stop's going to get moved. If we get tagged in, our stop will just go to whatever the high is that tapped into the order blocks, and then a close above that. If we don't get tagged in, we don't get emotional. We don't chase. The entries will come. Did not hit 50 yet. 50 sitting at 313. Looks like 50's coming here. There's 50. Would still be willing to try it, but if we're bullish, you look for price to hold here. If you got like a 1 minute breaker sitting here, took this high, took a new low, closed back above it. So same setup we had up here, right? With this candle, just the same setup here. So you want to see price blow through here. Blow through here, you should be good for the lows, but. Yeah, except we're in a discount now, and we hit the breaker. So I still have my limit sitting up here. I would just this is where okay, we already hit 50. I still expect us to go down to the lows, but this is where I'll just take like a contract off, or I will lower my I'll lower my risk here. So like instead of like 3 MQ, I'll go down to like 2 MQ, for example. This is not an ROB. No, this is just a order block. But the reason I like this order block is because everything else is mitigated, right? Except way up, except this one up here. Everything else is mitigated. So if we're going down, I would expect this one to hold. Otherwise, because if we close back above this order block, this thing can absolutely rip. So if we're going down, I would expect this to hold. I'm a mess. Yep. Let's wait. We'll see if we get tagged in here. Like I said, learn from the breaker in 50 now. There's makes it a little more risky. But the risk reward is still there for me. I'm still bearish on the day. If we're going down, this is where price should hold. The good thing is we now have a 1 minute move to the upside. So with this, our structure moves from here up to here. Remember, this is not a downswing until we close below or close back above the high up there. We don't draw anything inside of here. So we don't draw down, down, up this. We don't draw it. That's all internal. You wait for one side of this structure to break. You should only have one tap inside of the old range, and that's just a retrace back in and then a retrace back out, or you have a move straight back through it. So be surprised if we don't tap that order block. But if we don't, we don't. It happens a lot. We'll be back at some other point, and guess what? That'll be a target later on, just like these ones were that we're bouncing from down here. But I don't have a lot of faith in like a tiny 1 minute. We didn't this whole dump. We didn't come down for just the bounce off of here. Like if we're gonna get a big bounce, it's gonna be down from that unmitigated 15 down here. But like we talked about before, the 1 minute, these 1 minutes on the left side that were untapped, unmitigated, whatever word you want to use, they build the right side of your sell model or your buy model. But in this case, a sell model. And this is where you just get what your returns to a premium discount, and then back to the lows. Doesn't look like we're going to get an entry though. We're gonna have new bearish order blocks sitting inside of here now. Yeah, potentially. We got 16 seconds still. I guess we did already. This is already a bearish order block sitting here. Yep. Yep. That's why we'll size down a little bit here. Size down a little bit. I'm still gonna try it. Like I said, it's a lot more risky now because of 50. But wrong way. But if you're short already, you have to in your mind you have to know that and be okay with price coming back to this order block because it is untapped. So you know price can absolutely come back to it before continuing lower. So mentally in your mind, you just need to know, okay, and that's how you can manage your trade entirely. You got to know where price can go even if it's against the direction that you're anticipating, and know that if price comes back to here, it should not violate this area, or okay, now I need to now I need to exit my position, whether it's in profit, or a loss or a break even. But it is. So now we'll see. This is our high that tapped into this order block, right? We got the close below here. This became an order block. This candle tapped into it. So a close above here should send us what? Up to our untapped order block. Up here. This order block's already tapped because we did get a close below, or we closed above, right? Closed above here. This candle dug back into it. The hourly order block. You're not getting CV'd. You should be going for the lows there, Richard. Going for the lows. So, Mike, if you're bullish here, you're expecting a monster retrace then. Because if we're gonna get bully here, we're gonna run all of this. Now, I will say, I will get very bullish if we get. So the way for me to get very, very bullish here is if we get what? We get a close below here. We hit -8. We get a break of structure to the downside, making what? Making our new swing like this, making these highs what? Our protected highs. So these become our protected highs. And then what? we can then look for a break of structure to the upside. There's going to be an ROB in here, and guess what? We have unmitigated order blocks to a tap here. This can be a trim, and then what? Everything else is mitigated here, so we should run the highs. You can have an absolutely beautiful long there if that happens, especially off of -8, 100% possible. And there's that. I just don't like that we left -8 and we left. Remember, there's two 1 minute order blocks down here. I don't like that we left both the one untapped with a -8. So I can see one more stab on the lows, and then and then a potential long, sure, for sure, especially it being OPEX, 100%. But this is where we're getting to the point where we are also super low, and we can get a stop run. So that's why that's why if we have like, breakdown, 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 this would be what our fourth breakdown. After four breaks to the downside or upside, what do we expect? At some point, we expect a break of structure to the other side. So that's what would make a long with the close back above these highs, a potential very nice long, especially with everything being mitigated here, and in the form of LR. Nonetheless, awesome PA this morning for OPEX. Dang, it's already 11. It is. Yeah, give us some displacement. Now, the other thing I can see is if we just get a sweep of this low with no close down, it's also a bullish signature as well that we're failing to close below, especially if we get especially if we just sweep the low and then get just displacement back up and got like a 1 minute order block. That could be something to target longs, especially if we don't tap this order block, because then we know we have reasons to go up here. So we'll see what happens at these lows if we get those lows, but I do expect us to. But that's what we focus on here: getting in tops and bottoms, um, tops and bottoms. So that way, even if you end up like we shorted up here and you start chopping, it doesn't matter to you. You're already in up here. You have your draw, and it doesn't matter. That's what we focus on here. Nothing in the middle. Not chasing anything in the middle. It is getting a little sloppy, a little sloppy and choppy. But let's see if we get anything here for the macro. Oh, 80/20. You taking this one? You taking this one? Done. Mm, look- Looks like drawdown to me. Oh, okay. Still gonna try this short. It's a very, very, very small position, but still worth a shot to me. If we blow through it, we know we know where this thing's going. Remember, it's gonna be a stop above this high, so just don't go off. Don't go off of this. So I might just have to exit. All right. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. But it's pretty bullish out to there. See. All right, I'm gonna exit there. 100% worth a shot for me though. Worth a shot. But now I know what? Now I know we can target up here. No break of structure. Our structure is still just here because it's all just internal. Where'd you enter, Mike? All right, let's see. Let's see. Like I said, we should get up to this order block now. Then the thing to be will be to watch through here. I still don't trust it. I don't trust the pump here. Um, Not with this hourly candle closing below this hourly mitigation low. I don't trust any of this pump. Yep, I don't trust any of it. Not based on the hourly candle closures. Now, like I said, we're bouncing off of what the last 1 minute on mitigated, but be very surprised that sends us all the way back up. But this 1 minute will tell us a lot. Remember, there's no 1 minute break of structure until we close all the way back up here. Lee Corso is retiring. Well, that's no surprise. Dude can barely walk. Oh, this is a so there is a 50. Yeah, the 50-minute OB is here as well. Interesting. There's your alert. The 20? You're taking this 20? All right. You might get a run up to 428 first, but we'll see. But you could absolutely get your 5 points first. But I want to see what happens off of this order block. A 1 minute order block off of this 1 minute with a 1 minute prop block to the downside would be a short for me. Just because that's literally the last spot. It looks like we held. It was just yeah. I mean, we held the 1 minute breaker there. What, Hill Dog? You're a madman. All right, where does 50 of this range. I'm gonna say it sits right at these highs. Okay, but hmm, let's see. Looks like we hit 50. We did hit 50 of this 1 minute range. I just who wants a free Hidalgo stream? The man won't stream. I mean, if you're gonna target 488, Mike, you might as well target up here to midnight. There's no reason we should hit this and reject. Leaving points on the table. Uh, guess that makes sense. You gotta see price through 428 though. That's the key right here. You get a 1 minute bully order block. That should propel us up to 428. Just would not want to see what? A close back below this low. That's your low. That's your low that tapped into the order block there. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Read that book. Read that book. Good point, Perry. Good point. 100% worth the read. This thing's already stalling up here. I'll give us the 1 minute, and then that will give us a big clue to whether we're going to run all the way back up to midnight. Audible does have it. It's a great listen in the car, on your daily walk, wherever you like to enjoy a good audio book. Remember, this is the low to watch. This is the low that tapped inside this order block. Close below here, you probably get a 50 of this 1 minute range here. but it's nothing I'm shorting. Not getting that close to that 1 minute. Now, if we had this candle and this 1 minute order block off of over here, I'd be 100% all over this short. But yeah, doggo, we want to see it live. Your first 80-20 of the win. Nice. Love it. Dude. So now we're just in patience mode. Patience mode, close below the mitigation low. Let's see if that means anything. If we don't get a push up to 428. But nice, doggo. Think this is it, Plyo? All right, so there's the 1 minute. Yeah, running into the 15. Looks like we might be going for that 428. All right, there's the 428. What else do we got? Just look at the hourly. We have untapped hourlies up here at the 460 area too. But all right, let's see what we get out of here. We close below this 1 minute. I'm gonna look at a short. It's the last spot. That's stopping us from running up to the highs. And first target would be down here, but we'll see. We'll see what we get here. So if you got a short, it would look something like this. Be looking for here for TP1 and then down to the -8. So, yep. Yeah, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen here. So, absolutely worth the try if we get it, if we get the 1 minute. Huge SMT already. ES is already at these highs. So, got to keep that in mind as well here. All right, we could just be coming down for this 1 minute here, but let's see if we get a bearish order block here. All right, got my entry setting at 410. We're gonna try this. Let's see if we get a tag. Yeah, the summary works too. It's about just as good. Just hope this 1 minute order block right here has enough oomph in it to at least get us back up there. Otherwise, we close below here. We're going to start. Obviously, -4 might give us something too, but pretty bearish close there. There's always a chance we just sit here and chop for the next hour or two, but let's see if we get a close. Get a close below here. No close up inside of that order block. Let's see. We're ETH ES sweeps. So ES swept this high. So that's your bearish SMT right now. And now you've got a 1 minute breaker sitting here with that close below. So with the breaker, we may not even get up to the 1 minute order block there as well. But however, I will say ES left equal highs, basically with this high. With this high right here, ES left triple equal highs with that. But just for what it's worth. Hopefully price just doesn't stop now for lunch. Might get ugly to the downside here, Marshall. I'm personally going to remove my limit from this order block because if we come back up, I don't want to see price blown through this breaker. Blown through a breaker, it's usually not a good sign to come back to just go up to like an order block and then come back. The breaker should hold price. So I'm going to remove that because I would not want to see price back through this breaker, which means if you want to try this breaker short, you just would not want to see it close back above through it. But prices are just getting a little slow here, but see if we're just accumulating here. Pay attention to -4 as well. We close back above it, so it can absolutely be used as a support spot because it could be. It's probably right around 50. Not necessarily. I guess if you go up here, it's like 50 is right at the -4. So yeah, if you draw this whole range, 50 and -4 there, so your 50 would sit right there. So far the breaker's holding. Remember, our 1 minute structure is still just up here now. FI 12 o'clock is brown. All right. Is that 1104 considered an ROB? There isn't. No, there is no ROB until we would break structure back down to the upside or break structure back up to the upside. Nice dump from the breaker here. So far, price respecting last 1 minute order block that we talked about. That if price was going to reject, it was going to be right there. 70 points off of that level already. I said if we come back down and close below this low, then yeah, we're gonna be super bearish because price came all the way back up to mitigate everything of this move down before then continuing lower means that we have a higher time frame objective, probably lower, and price just want to mitigate everything first before continuing lower. Which coming back to mitigate it just equals in what a stop run. Um, but yeah, we know we have an unmitigated area here. Price can if we're going up, this is where we expect to hold. If this gets blown through, we know where this thing's going. Right back down to our -8. I just don't let you can't let these moves like this deter you from your higher time frame bias. But we know if we're gonna go up, this is where it's gonna hold. Right, coming back down to mitigate everything here. We missed this order block down here as well. Or no, we already talked about that. We closed above and never mind. That one's already tapped. The only area that's not tapped is just basically this little accumulation here. But if we are to do the OPEX chop as well, we can come back up and guess what? We can bounce from here. We guess what? We come all the way back up to here, or we could come all the way back up to here, and then guess what? There's gonna be order blocks down here, and then guess what? We just start the chop pattern. So that's 100% possible for Plyo's sake and PM stream. I hope not, but let's hope not. But last big gap in the leg. Is this a is that okay? It's not a devil's mark. I was saying that's a devil's mark on there, but it's not. So now all eyes will be on here. It shows you this market moves order block to order block to order block to order block. I will say a close back above this high. Obviously means we're gonna go tap this order block, but I would not expect this order block to hold, right? You're back inside the breaker now. I wouldn't want to see the breaker even violated. Now, if I shorted the breaker, I forgot to mention that. If you shorted the breaker, obviously you want to either go break even or take some off where we know price can end up reversing, which would have been inside of this accumulation here. IFEG to IFEG. Yeah. But green 2 on the clock right now. All right. We'll see what happens here, and we'll probably call it a stream. All right. So if you were to short these order blocks, you just wouldn't want to see a close back above this high now. And if you do, guess what? Next order block. All right, important close here. Let's see. We're gonna close above. All right, so we closed above. Let's see if that means we get a push up to that bearish 1 minute now. It's starting to get a little choppy now. See, this high don't matter anymore. Let's cover the breaker. We know we're in the breaker. So far, close above the mitigation high. Did not close above the order block. Remember, we got this is what we just talked about, right? Now we can start going order block to order block and just chopping. Hopefully not. What will tell us not is if we get a close below here. Teach a class on Dodgy's got a mentorship. I don't know if it'll teach you how the market goes inverse to inverse though. I know. All right, so let's see. Obviously, this is 50 of this 1 minute range. But inverse to inverse, yeah. 1 second, guys. but just getting range bound here. 5 minutes probably looking a little messy. This is we just tapped. I guess we didn't. The first tap was a tap into. So you had a 5 minute, your 5 minute order block here, 5 minute prop block. That's where we bounce from with this low. So yeah, you really wouldn't want to see it close below that low now if you're bullish. But, all right, so close back above now. Let's see if we get up to that 1 minute. We're just gonna looks like OB tag coming in hot. That's a pretty bullish candle though. On trade management. Nah, I mean, kind of. There's a few order block videos that I've made in the past that go over it, but in the course that I put nice options that put out, the next two videos are going to be execution and entry model video, so that will probably have a lot more of it. And I'm still working on those videos, hoping for a Saturday release for the first one of those. Nice, Hidalgo. Did you pass? Is it day 5? 'Cause you haven't passed until day 5. Ask me how I know that. All right, so like I said, OB tag, highest order block. Now we come back down and probably tap this order block, and now we just start to chop until we end up closing above one of the highs or one of the lows now. Right, because this will be our mitigation high on this 1 minute. Close above here. I mean, I would expect nothing short of the highs. Just watch any SMTs. Close below here. This is your low that tapped into your 5 minute. So this right here is just this consolidation here is just your 5 minute prop block off of your 5 minute order block. That sits here. So that's your 5 minute. That's your 5 minute prop. So like I said, if you're in from like down here off of the 1 minute breaker, or you're in from up here. We're not chasing anything in the middle here. um I'm not going to do what you did. Yeah, don't don't do that. I highly recommend not. Make sure you know what account you're trading on when it comes to your TPT. That's the one thing I love about Top Step X is the platform X, is because of you can lock out, and then I know like my account's secure. I can't put an accidental ghost order in or anything. It's my favorite thing about it. It's like it's sealed and done for the day. I'm not a fan of the fills. Absolutely not. Um, well, that guys, I don't see much else here. I would just wait for one of these highs or lows to get closed and then potentially frame a trade. Like I said, if we get a break back below, you can look for an ROB inside of here to then maybe push lower down to that 15 minute. But for now, no break lower, no break higher. We're just diddling in the middle here. But thank you everybody for showing up. Pretty good turnout. For those who won, congrats. Hope you guys learned something today. Even if you don't come on to the premium side, still hope you all learned something. If you want to check out the premium side a little bit more, we do have a 7-day free trial. You'll see the channel linked to the left as well. But it's what we do every day. There's no other place you're gonna get 32 plus streams a month for $50 a month. So it's the best value out there in the trading world. So we'll try to help you out. You missed who won. It was Nikos and Reggie won. But for the value, I think we're the best out there. But all right, guys, thanks for showing up. We'll see you guys for a PM stream with Plio, where we will be giving away another TPT account. So make sure you show up. All right, peace. Later, guys.